Hello everyone, and welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we continue to follow the athletic programs of the Tulsa Public Schools. And as always, we want to encourage you to get out and support the athletic programs of the Tulsa Public Schools because you're supporting young people who really need support and who need what they get from athletics. Stay with us here on Inside Tulsa Athletics as we talk to coaches as well as Gil Cloud, Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools. Don't go away. We're coming right back.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education?
What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job?
Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher.
You got the skills, the smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess?
What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard the head girls coach at Central High School, Bobby Neely. And Bobby, when we take a look at what's happening in girls basketball, seems like it's just getting better.
It's getting better, yeah. Each school is adding different players to their programs, and the competition is getting tougher and tougher every year.
Well, kind of give us a rundown on the Central players that you have back from last year and those that you are really expecting to contribute this year.
Well, we have 4 returning starters from last year: Alexis Beats, Teresian Colbert, Chardonnay Sewell, and Sierra Galloway. They were actually starters last year. So it's good to have those young ladies back. We're really looking heavily for our freshmen to step up and come to play. We actually had 10 freshmen actually come in enroll in Central. So we're looking for those young ladies to be able to step in and play a significant role. We had some transfers that came in. Darian Myers, she's going to be pretty good. Chris Cox is going to be good. She's coming back from injury. Sade Tate Marshall is going to be a good one. And then a couple of freshmen, Shayla Jones, she's going to be a pretty good guard before she leaves. And Tiara Pickett, she's been giving our varsity girls some fits on them grabbing rebounds.
Bobby, does your girls have a summer program that they competed in?
We do. We actually played in the summer league this past summer. We went to the University of Tulsa team camp, and we did pretty good. We feel like the effort-wise, we did pretty good. And we went to a Branson team camp where we made it to the semifinals. So it seems like the summer we just kept getting better and better. Just hate to take that long break between the summer and then first day of conditioning program, but we just saw progress this summer.
It seems like every year in coaching that there are some players that step forward that maybe in the beginning, and if they return from last year, that maybe you didn't expect too much out of them. But as you go through September and October and get into November, and suddenly those players are stepping forward. Did you have any that fit that particular category this year?
Yes, really, we did. We had a young lady, Teresian Colbert. She probably played maybe 11 minutes last year just due to inexperience, but this summer, she's totally done the 360. She's really worked on her ball handling. She worked a lot on her shooting. She's a defensive-minded player. So she's really been leading us right now as far as leadership and effort and practice. Also, our freshman that came in, Shayla Jones, she's coming in just soaking it up like a sponge and just really, really wants to learn and get better and just been really pushing our upperclassmen.
Do these players that are coming in, And it seems like, and I don't mean this to be negative, but it seems like anymore throughout the state of Oklahoma that kids are constantly on the move. Now, are your players pretty happy with the way you're running the program? They're going to stay there and build Central back to where you want it to be?
Yeah, I believe they love the direction we're going. I believe they love what we're trying to accomplish, what our goals are as far as athletics and academics. So that's a big plus. Like I said, we've had everybody come back. We had a lot of people come in. So I think people are starting to believe what we're trying to do at Central High School.
Talk about your schedule, talk about your tournaments, and what we might be looking forward to with the Lady Braves.
Well, we kick off next week against Rogers on Tuesday. Then of course, we have the Thanksgiving break, and we come back with Webster, and then we go to Oak Muggy, and then come back home to play against Noah. Then we got Oak Muggy home, and then of course we face the juggernaut East Central Lady Cardinals. And then as far as our tournaments, we will play in the Tahlequah tournament, which is a very loaded tournament. There's Tahlequah, Sequoia, Muskogee, El Reno, Green Country Conference Defenders, Noah, and then UConn. And then we're also in February playing the Beggs tournament. So we got a really good chance to look at Beggs this past weekend in our scrimmages, and they look pretty good. So we know pretty much that it's going to be a really good tournament too.
Well, it looks like what you have done tournament-wise, that you have done it for the benefit of your team.
Benefit for our team to get us ready for the conference run, to get us ready for playoffs. We need our freshmen to really get a lot of really good competitive games in. So when we're going down the home stretch, that they'll then have their feet wet, and then they know what the speed of the game is like and what it's like to play in front of big crowds. And so when it comes down to it, they're able to perform at their best.
And now you play in 4A.
4A.
So that's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of interesting, and some teams maybe that we haven't seen. Bobby, always a pleasure having you aboard. Want to wish you the very best of luck at Central High School, and hope to have you back here with some gold balls.
Appreciate it. That sounds good.
Stay with us on Inside Tulsa Athletics. We're going to take another break, and then we'll be right back right after this.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education?
What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job?
Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher.
You got the skills, the smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess?
What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we turn to basketball and welcome aboard Coach Cordell Love from McLain High School and starting his 10th year as the head coach at McLain. And you've had some good teams, some good players. What do we look forward this year?
This year, it should be a very exciting year again. This year, hopefully, we'll be a better team for us liking each other. I think that was one of the reasons why the season went as long as it should have been last year. But this year, I'm looking for a very exciting season.
You know, you said something there that I think so many times people don't think about today. Mm-hmm. But it is more difficult to keep kids totally united, I think, because of so much recognition, so much television, mm-hmm. so much radio, so much print, that they want to be up at the very top, and sometimes they forget the team effort.
I totally agree with you. One reason why I think that is not a pretty good deal was the AAU teams.
Yes.
At your AAU teams, they strictly go get yours. When you come play, for me at least, it's a team game. A lot of our kids last year had a tendency to want to hate on one another for maybe scoring this many points or whatever the case may be. This year, that's what I'm focused on, so we won't have that problem. And if we don't have that problem, I think we'll have a very, very good season this year.
You know, I know this is prejudice because of my background in coaching, but a lot of times when I go watch a high school game, I tend to think that, why didn't he pass it? Why did he want to put it on the floor, penetrate, and lose it when had he passed it and then went to the bucket, he could have gotten it back and got the shot. But is that something that you fight today?
I do, but I have less of that now. Like I said this year, I have a very, very intelligent senior class.
Oh.
And that senior class is demanding a little bit more from the underclassmen, and that leads into team play. So I hopefully won't have that big of a problem this year.
Well, talk about some of the players that you have coming back that you feel are going to make a contribution and are doing what you and the staff want done.
Wow. Like I said before, it's been a great summer, and it all leads into that summer. I had probably 8 to 9 seniors returning back. Their focus, some of the seniors I've been having for 4 years. So they know what I want. They know what needs to be done. Then you got some underclassmen. They stepping up to the plate. I got a transfer in, and I'm not going to speak too much on him, but he's a great asset to this team. God has blessed me with him, and people will know about him. For us this year, I have a very experienced team, let me say that. And sometimes experience can be good, sometimes it can be bad. But in this case, I think it's pretty good, JB.
I think it's interesting when you take a look at McLain from the standpoint that you play in Class 4A for the state championship. But throughout the course of the season, you're playing 6A and 5A teams. So when you get out into 4A, it is a little different, isn't it?
It is. In 5 and 6A, of course, the kids are bigger, stronger. I think more experience. And then again, I don't want to play in too many 4A teams because I like for them to guess just as much as I do. For us, when we play them in the playoffs, they don't have too much film on me or anything like that. So now you have to coach, and hopefully your kids do as what you asked. I think that's a challenge this year. Coach is going to have to coach this year. That is kind of equal for his talent around a little bit. You might have 1 or 2, 3 teams that may be a little bit more bulky than others, but coach is going to have to coach and players are going to have to play this year.
Cordell, kind of talk about the schedule and the tournaments and how this prepares you to get to the playoffs.
This year's schedule, we play 3 home games. Thank God we play 3 home games coming out. I think we play Webster first game, which is on the 21st, and then we play Rogers second, which is on the 28th. And then I stepped outside the bounds a little bit, JV, this year. I'm playing a Oklahoma City team this year. A lot of people familiar with them. We're going to play Oklahoma Star Spencer this year.
Yes.
That'll be my 3rd game, and that should get me set up and ready for the Bishop Kelly tournament that should be coming nearly after that. And of course, you know, I still stick with my NEO tournament and the Muskogee tournament, the Shrine tournament. I like to give back to the Shrine. That's a pretty good cause for us. That's one of the main reasons why we play in the Muskogee tournament for the good cause of it. And for us, the schedule is going to be pretty thick. We got them good teams like Nathan Hale, Memorial. You got the Booker T's as well. I like it. I love the challenge, and hopefully we'll be ready when 4A tournament times come.
And you know, when you take a look at that, and then you go into Class 4A for the playoffs, you have gone through some great preparation.
Yes, I have. And thanks for the good coaches up there at 5 and 6A. They helped prepare my team as well for the 4A, so I appreciate that.
Well, Cordell, I want to wish you the very best of luck, and we'll be following McLain High School and the Titans. I didn't say Scots.
Yes, sir.
The McLain Titans.
Sounds good.
We'll be following them along with you throughout the course of the season, and hope to have you back soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Stay with us. More coming up right after this.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
We continue inside Tulsa Athletics as we talk high school basketball and bring aboard the head coach at Memorial High School, Bobby Allison. And Bobby, 5th year at Memorial, you've won 2 state titles, and I saw you work out earlier, and I think you have a team that can compete for another state title.
Yeah, we definitely think we can get back to the state tournament. That's our goal, and once you get there, that's kind of always been the motto at Memorial, try to work your hardest to get to the state tournament, and once you get there, let's see what can happen. So we think we got a good chance this year with this group.
With the team that you have and the depth that you have, has it been tough making them still continue to compete, maybe knowing that they're not going to get the minutes that they would like to play?
Right, that's a great question. They've really bought into the program aspect and just the long-term goal of, just making themselves better through daily practices, competing in game-like situations as much as you can in practice. And then they kind of, having depth like that, they are able to hold themselves accountable, because if somebody's slacking, if player A is slacking and player B is not, and they're that even, it makes it real fun for me as a coach to see who really wants to start. Because if you're willing to take a day off and this kid's not, then chances are he's going to be getting your minutes. So we've done a good job, me and my staff, Coach West and Coach Sturdivant, and of just really managing all the talent that we have and trying to make each other better throughout daily activities and daily practices, on and off the court.
I see you practice quite often. I go to a lot of your games simply because it's in my neighborhood. Right. It's easy to go. But it just seems like that your kids are the most dedicated kids to what you are doing, what you ask them to do, what your assistants ask them to do. Right. And I think that's remarkable.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's just been a product of years before me, all the success Memorial's had. The 5 years that I've been here, we've had incredible success. The kids see why we put in the hard work. There's proof in it, in the success we've had and the great players we've had. And they've always left the program over the last 20 years. People have left the program in better shape than they inherited the program, and that's just kind of, it's made this job and that program very, very special in the state of Oklahoma, and that's helped the kids become dedicated.
Bobby, can you talk about some of the players? You lost so many last year. Right. And so many of the new players that have come in and that have went up the ladder, right, that are better. Kind of talk about some of those kids.
Yeah, definitely. We lost 4 studs last year, and I named them all the time last year, and they're all playing college basketball or college football right now. 4 guys that were multiple-year starters. But with them gone, we're trying to fill the gaps. And like I told the kids, there's a lot of shots out there to take, a lot of points and rebounds, and all those good things that the last year's seniors left. Now it's your guys' turn to go get those stats, go get those points. And it starts with our point guard, who was a starter last year, Shamar Walker, our lone returning starter. He's had a great career at Memorial, won a lot of games, and really been an important part of this program the last 4 years. And then we got talent coming in, and the guys that have never started, but guys that are capable of being college players, and some with Division I offers already. The Calip and Keelan Boone have never started a high school game, but have multiple Division I offers, and they keep getting better every day. Corey Guest, whose brother was an All-Stater at Memorial, played a lot last year, but now it's his turn as a senior to get a lot of starting minutes. And then after that, there's just a bunch of JV guys that played JV last year and freshman ball over the last couple of years that hadn't lost in a really long time at the JV and freshman level. So they're used to winning. A lot of seniors, juniors, and some really talented sophomores. Our freshman class last year went undefeated. So it's just kind of any game, one of about 12 guys could maybe step up and help us. Those 4 that I named will start this year. James Alexander and Craig Webb are another 2 guards that just come to the top of my mind that are really tough, good players. And we got a lot to be excited about, but we also got a lot of work to do. We've scrimmaged some really tough teams that have kind of shown us some strengths and weaknesses this preseason.
We don't have much time left, but kind of go through your schedule and your tournaments that we can expect to see.
Well, our tournaments that we have this year, I'll name, we just got the Durant tournament, which Norman North, Yukon, Oklahoma City Southeast, and Union are in. It's a very well done tournament down in Durant, Oklahoma. Tournament of Champions, which Mick Wilson and Gil Cloud have put together a first-class field with probably about 8 potential state champions in the field. And then our tournament we're hosting December 14th through 16th at Memorial. And then our non-conference schedule is tough. We got Lott and Ike, a rematch of last year's state quarterfinal game. And then the conference schedule is, you know, Tulsa Public Schools basketball and Green Country Conference has been amazing the last couple of years, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down this year. You know, you got Booker T and Edison who can make state tournaments, and Hale and McLain's got a top 5 4A team, Central, Webster, Rogers. Everybody that I named's got a chance to really have a quality season. So we got a work cut out for us, and we'll be a lot better come February and March.
You know, I think that's interesting when you take a look at it, because you're absolutely right. If you don't get better every week, then you're going to be in trouble when it gets down to the end.
Exactly right.
Bobby, always a pleasure
Great to
having
see
you
you,
aboard,
JB.
and look forward to seeing you
Awesome.
play.
Sounds good.
Stay with us on Inside Tulsa Athletics. More coming up right after this.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
We continue inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard the head basketball coach at Hale High School, Coach Yancy Walker. And Coach Walker, welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and welcome to Tulsa.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And when we take a look at your background, I think our audience would enjoy hearing how you ended up in Tulsa Hale in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and your background in basketball.
Well, what's interesting is I was actually born in El Reno, and I grew up in western Kansas. My hometown is the same as Ron Baker, that played at Wichita State and now plays for the Knicks. So small town, 3,800 people, and then I went to college and played, and then I was able to get into coaching. And then from there, I started at a small high school in Hays, Kansas, went to Fort Hays State University, and then I went to Colby Community College where I played, and then I got my coaching start. And then from there, I went to Henderson State in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, and the head coach there at the time was Joe Redmond, who was at Booker T, and then Mick Wilson, who was the assistant coach at the time, and I was the graduate assistant. And so that's my connection to Tulsa, is those two guys. And then from there, I was at Arkansas Tech for a year. Then I went to Hawaii Pacific for 2 years and worked for a guy out there named Darren Vorderberge, who last year was at least the Division II West Region Coach of the Year, and had a lot of accolades. And then I went to MSU West Plains for eight years as the head coach, and then had a lot of successful seasons there, had great players, had Scottie Pippen's nephew and some people like that, and but was always really fortunate. Had a lot of guys go play Division I, got meet a lot of people that way, and but it's just been a nice change to come to Tulsa and get to know these kids and hopefully coach them up a little bit.
Well, you know, when you take a look at it, the kids at Hale High School are lucky to be able to have a coach with the background that you've had, and the fact that as a result of it, it could all come down to them and they could profit from it beyond what we might imagine right now.
Well, I hope they feel that way. I think some days during practice, the jury's out on how lucky they feel that I'm there or not. But it's really a good situation, because when you are a 2-year college coach, there's a blueprint on how to get things figured out so you can be successful at the next level. And it's really similar at Hale, as in the things that have to improve and very little of that is actually basketball. Most of that is just day-to-day habits. And you know, Aristotle's saying is, you know, we are what we repeatedly do, so excellence is a habit. And so that's right now what we're just trying to approach, is that your habits in the classroom reflect your habits on the floor. They're not independent of each other. Your habits on the practice floor reflect your game habits. They're not independent of each other. And that's a big jump for a lot of people to make, and it's a lot different than what they're used to. And so I think they've really responded well. I think there are some days that it looks a little more like what it's supposed to, and some days it looks like we may never get there. Yeah. But these kids have responded well. These kids have done a good job to come in and be receptive to a new approach on doing things.
Well, kind of talk about some of the kids that you have coming back, those that you have potential in, that you feel like as the years go by, maybe the underclassmen, but kind of give us a brief summation.
Well, we've got several seniors who got really close last year with a nice win at the end of the year, a nice little run at the end of the year. You know, we have different guys every day that I think may be able to lead us in this or that or the other. I'm always hesitant to mention too many people by name, just because I really feel like if your entire group is not bought in, then you're not going to get out of it what you want. So we have some guys that their role is going to be the role that everybody wants, and that gets their name in the paper, and they're going to get a score and everything else. Then we have some guys that you can't win without, but you have to know what you're watching to know that they're really being valuable to what we're doing. And so we really focus every day on just trying to get to where we're better teammates. And I feel like that's a big jump we need to make. And when we make that jump, and it's understandable that we'll be able to have a little bit more success, because when nobody cares who gets the credit, then your team's going to be a lot better off. So it's really just a process every single day to get everybody on the same page. We don't really have anything special for any one particular person as far as set plays go or anything like that. We just try to, you know, who's the guy that needs to take the shot, the open man. So that's really where we're at as far as building our chemistry, building our identity, and everything like that.
We have about 30 seconds left. The schedule, how does the schedule fit you?
I don't like it because there aren't any easy games on there. So when I was scheduling for college, you know, you always tried to sneak in a few easy games.
Yeah.
Whoever did the scheduling for us last year must have missed that memo. So it's going to be a great year. Everybody who's a competitor should like to go out there and have a tough schedule, and I think that's where we're at.
Well, Yancy, I want to wish you the very best of luck. We'll be watching you play during the winter and hope to have you back soon.
All right, I appreciate you having me.
Yancy Walker, the head coach at Hale High School. Stay with us. More coming up right after this.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta try a little harder.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
We continue inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard the athletic director and the wrestling coach at Webster High School, Coach Rob Biggins. And Coach, when we talk about Webster, we talk about wrestling.
You better talk about wrestling. Just such a long and rich history. We had our homecoming. We have one for wrestling every year. Well, for the second year. Last year we had a guy come in that was, I think he was a 1941 state champion. He was from the 40s, and it was the early 40s. So we've got state champions going back, I don't know how far, but that man was there. And then, you know, all through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s with Ernie Jones. just nationally dominant. Absolutely.
Well, I know something that's happened in the wrestling program, that you've remodeled the wrestling room. Now, I remember when you walked in there, you thought you had walked into a furnace.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of ongoing adjustments, I should say, but this last year, we've had some donors step up. Our alumni foundation is awesome, and the athletic director, or the athletic department here at the service center kicked in a little bit, and we found some bond money, and they just came through, and it's not a dungeon anymore. I don't even, my kids don't know how to act. We just, we have to dust and mop, and it's beautiful. We've got all brand new wall pads in royal blue and white. We've got a brand new mat that covers the whole floor, and it's beautiful. It's got ghost circles in it. Everything's been painted, and they installed new digital or LED lights. I tell you, I just feel like I'm in Hollywood now.
I can understand. I can understand that. And when you go back and you talk wrestling and you talk Webster, it just seems like, as we said a few minutes ago, there have been so many state champions. There's been so many outstanding college wrestlers that have come from Webster High School. And does that still cling in there today?
Absolutely. Everyone knows. I don't care if you go to the Quick Trip, you go to the McDonald's, wherever I am, and when I'm wearing my TW, somebody always comes up and talks to me about wrestling from every generation. I've got a kid that is reporting up in Kansas for his free ride to college, and he's going to wrestle. Derek McAnally, remember him from last year, 30-plus wins. This year, we've got, I think, at least 4 opportunities. At 132, I've got Cameron Page. He's a senior, and he tore it up these last 2 preseason tournaments, losing very slim margins to nationally ranked guys. So at 4A, I really think Cameron's going to do a big thing for us. Clayton Smith, he's a junior at 138, strong, and they've been wrestling all summer with me. I expect great things from him. We've got Donovan Sewell back from the football team, and he's a senior, and I really think that he's going to be competing in the playoffs, as we say, at the state tournament. And his little brother is a freshman now, and if we can get him down to 220, he'll do a lot of damage. And we got some freshmen. Kenny Adams at 106 he's got a lot of experience. He's a little undersized, but I think he gets gets his mind right and gets some push-ups going. I think you're going to see Webster's going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Well, do you see a lot of the past Webster wrestlers that suddenly, as you've rejuvenated the program, are they coming back and wanting to help and be a part of it?
Absolutely. We've tried not to embarrass them. And I know that those first couple of years that I came over and took over the reins, I've said it here before, we were in the toilet. We've come out, and now we've dried ourselves off. We're sending people to the state tournament. In our wrestling match at the homecoming last year, I think we won at 56 to -1. Now, if you don't think that energized them, now those guys had something to cheer about. And if we can give our alumni, especially our wrestling alumni, something to cheer about, they're going to get in there and they want to help. They remember the glory days, and we're trying to reestablish that.
It seems like my experience, and I spent about 14 years at Webster High School, that during the period we had great wrestling programs, it really filtered out into football and basketball and baseball. It wasn't just wrestling. It went to all areas. Is that still working?
It is beginning to work more. I'm the athletic director now, and we're encouraging all of our athletes to play more than one sport. And once you start doing crossover sports, there's going to be some guys that are just so good at that sport. We know they could go D1. They need to play that sport, and I'm not against that. But our guys that are above average, they need to go get better than above average by sending the linemen to wrestling. If somebody needs to make a tackle on the football team, they're going to learn that in the wrestling room. If they need to be faster, they got to go to track or baseball, but they need that well-rounded activities. We're not that big a school. We've got to have more than one kid in one sport.
Rob, we could sit here and talk wrestling for a long time at Webster High School, and we certainly appreciate you being aboard. Want to wish you the very best of luck, and as it spreads to the other areas in sports at Webster, we will be following you.
Appreciate you, JV.
Stay with us on Inside Tulsa Athletics. We have more coming up right after this.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard the athletic director as well as the head football coach at Booker T. Washington High School, Brad Calip. And Brad, it cannot get any more exciting than it is this week as you get ready for semifinal play.
Yes, it's very exciting. And told my kids yesterday, this is the Final Four, and it's come to the cream of the crop, the 4 best team in 6A2, and we're one of those teams. And we got a pretty good draw. We got Lawton, who knocked us out last year, so we're excited and we're ready to play.
Well, you had a great game with Putnam City. I thought it was kind of interesting, the fact that you fall behind a quarter. At the first quarter, you fall behind 7-0. And then suddenly when you come back, you are just absolutely, what did you score, like 49 unanswered points?
Yes, I mean, I think it was kind of good to have that happen to us because we haven't faced adversity since the West Monroe game, and just to kind of have that going into the playoff was pretty good because our kids settled down. They responded, like you said, and I think halftime it was like 49-14, and so our kids responded and settled down. So I thought that was great for our kids to kind of have that to kind of go into the next 2 rounds of the playoffs.
And when you take a look at it, Putnam City was ranked number 5 in 6A2. They had a good football team, but once you broke loose, you just maintained total control.
Yes, like I said, our kids are playing well, and our senior group, I got to talk to some of the captains to tell them, say, hey, we got 3 quarters left in this game. Do not panic. And they responded, and like I said, this is just a fun group of kids to watch, and like I said, playing well. And Putnam City, a fantastic football team. Coach Pearson, I got an opportunity to coach with him at Union, and he has turned that program around, and we knew we had a fight on our hand because of the size and the speed, and you saw that the first quarter, but our kids kind of relaxed and kind of got back in the driver's seat and took control of the game.
Brad, it seems like as I read the paper about, I can't go to all the games, I wish I could, but in reading about what happens with the Hornets, it seems like that you have different people really stepping up almost every game. Now you have 2 or 3 that's going to be there every game, but then you have other people stepping in. Is this true?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have 4 fantastic receivers that you can, if you shut one down, another one is going to hurt you. We got probably one of the top 2 running backs with McQuarters and Grayson that there are different type of running backs. Grayson is a speed demon, and McQuarters is a guy that can shake and bake it and then one from you. So it's just hard to prepare for us because you get, it's speed and shake and bake. And so I would hate to prepare for us.
Well, let's take a look at what's coming up. This coming weekend, you play at 7 o'clock. You play Lawton. And Lawton comes in number 3, 9-2 record. And they have had a good football program in Lawton.
Yeah, Lawton always have a great football team. Unfortunately, we don't get to see much of them on the east side, and but Coach does a great job over there. And last year we played them first round playoff, and they beat us by 1 point. So this is kind of like a revenge game for us, and because the seniors kind of who played in that game have that bitter taste in their mouth, and just to kind of play those guys again is really satisfying to my seniors. So it's going to be a good game. They're fast, they're physical, and they got all the elements. I mean, they beat Bixby, of course, and they beat some good teams. So again, you got to play for 4 quarters, when you play those guys.
Brad, it seems to me like in following you this year that throughout the course of the season that your kids have just really had an attitude that we want to compete for the state title. And it seems like that the selfishness and things that sometimes come up has not come up with this group.
No, I mean, it's a fun group to watch. They don't care who make the tackles or who get the sacks or who get the catches. I mean, their team, like you said, they're on a mission. They want to win. They want to win the gold ball. And like I said, it's been a long time. It's been almost 7 years since we held the gold ball up. And so they know that, and they focus on that. And like you said, pride don't get in the way. And when you have a team like that, they're fun to coach and fun to watch, as a coach. So, and I got those group of kids, and so hope we can kind of put 2 more games together.
How about the coaching staff? Have they blended into the same attitude?
Yes, I mean, I have a fantastic coaching staff, probably the best coaching staff in 6A too. With my coordinators and my assistant coach, they do a great job of preparing. I don't get all the credit. Those guys get all the credit. Like I said, they get those guys ready every week, and we're up there on Saturdays and Sundays getting prepared. So a lot of credit need to go to those guys. I really have a fantastic coaching staff, so I'm kind of glad they're on my staff.
Well, Brad, I want to wish you the very best of luck, and I can't wait till the day comes when we can sit here with a gold ball.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Best of luck. Stay with us on Inside Tulsa Athletics. More coming up right after this.
We just finished dinner, and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
We continue Inside Tulsa Athletics as we bring aboard the Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Gil Cloud. And Gil, when we take a look at what is happening in athletics now, it is just, it's very strange, isn't it?
Well, it's always been the arms race. When I was coaching in Division I, if you had something, I needed something, we needed something. If John Brown had it, then you've got to have it. I mean, it's just one of those things. And then as I transcended into administration and got into large high school and then back into the college business, it was, do you have a weight room? Well, we have a weight room. And when you get into recruiting student athletes, well, that has morphed its way, I think, into public schools now. You notice around the Tulsa area, all of the schools there have improved their facilities over the last 20 years, where there are really not any bad facilities around to play football and basketball in the metropolitan area. And I think that's really, really important for our kids to have that opportunity to showcase their talents in beautiful, warm, well orchestrated facilities for our fans to come in and feel comfortable and enjoy an evening on the school campus and then go home. And in that vein, we've got 2 projects that are either starting or will be starting very shortly. The McLain Fieldhouse, which is way overdue, something we really needed to build over there, and they're really excited about it. If you go by 47 North Peoria, or 4929, I guess, you'll see the construction fences are up. The construction cabin is there, and just as soon as the football ended last week, they'll start construction on that, and it's going to be about 365 days. That's of course weather pending. You never know. Hopefully get them closed in and get going. But during the winter, we'll be doing a lot of dirt work, drilling some piers, for the new foundation and everything. But it's going to really be a nice facility. I'm looking forward to being able to open that one probably, hopefully, sometime in December of 2018.
And Rogers High School?
Well, Rogers High School, one of the things in the 2015 bond issue was to build a stadium at Rogers. And we've started those preliminary talks. We've met with the campus administration, football staff, and the athletics director, and had our initial meeting with the architect. And we're looking at, of course, the existing facility they have there now is a nice practice area down in a lower area. And so we are looking at ways to enhance the parking around the campus there. Of course, it'll be a full-blown stadium, about 4,000 seats. We'll have lighting, scoreboards, restrooms, concession stands. It'll be a great facility for kind of the middle of the district to have, and that'll be good. That will take a little bit of pressure off of some of our other facilities. There are some facilities we have in football because we have 11 middle schools and the 9 high schools, and we only have 5 stadiums. There's some facilities that are used 4 nights, 5 nights a week to get all the games in. So every time we can add one, that takes a little bit more stress off of those facilities.
When you take a look at what's going to happen at McLain and Rogers, and we have had so much moving of the students from one school to another, with those facilities, will that have an impression maybe of maintaining them and they would stay there and that will be their home school?
JB, we really hope so. We hope that is something that, hey, we're doing our diligence on our part to be able to provide as good a facility as we can for you to participate in. And I think it's still incumbent upon our coaches to look at what they can do in order to retain their student athletes. I think that's critical. I've always said that when it really gets down to it, it's that coach-player relationship that moves a program forward. You and I have talked about a program here in Tulsa forever where not one program was winning except one program, and it was because of the coach there. And everybody said, well, that school can't win. Well, they were winning championships in that sport because of that coach. Mm-hmm. So I think it's incumbent upon our coaches to take advantage of the facilities that have been provided by the patrons and maximize that for your student athlete.
Well, when you take a look at what has happened there, any type of a positive is going to be great, not only for that particular school system, but for the entire Tulsa Public School System.
Oh, and for the community, for the patrons around those areas, it has got to enhance your property, to have a viable school there as opposed to having a closed school or a closed facility. I think when you continue to enhance your facilities, it makes it more attractive. And when people move into Tulsa, it'll make it more attractive.
And of course, we are always interested in keeping our kids in our schools so that they can compete.
Absolutely.
Don't run away. We need to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk about Booker T. Washington football, as well as take a look at winter athletics.
You betcha.
Stay with us. More coming up right after this.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we continue visiting with the Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Gil Cloud. And Gil, good information here on McLain and Rogers, but now let's move to Booker T. Washington High School in the semifinals of the state 6A2. It is getting exciting.
You know, it was really exciting the other night to host the first round playoff game at S.E. Williams Stadium. And as I was there sitting with the Putnam City athletic director, who's a very close friend of mine, you know, he just marveled at the overall ability and speed of the Booker T. Washington Hornets. And, you know, they have a game this coming week after a big win with Putnam City, but this coming week with Lawton. And they owe Lawton. You know, a year ago they lost to Lawton 21-20.
Yes.
And Rylan McQuarters got hurt in the very first quarter and didn't play the last 3 quarters of that game. Well, they're well now. They're all well, and I think they're going to be in good shape. And I think it's one of those situations now where there's going to be some payback when we play at the UCO campus in Edmond, Oklahoma on Saturday night.
And of course, you know, you always want to look down the road. Maybe we shouldn't, but looking at the possibility of Booker T playing Bigsby, and I'm sure that would be played here at Skelly Stadium.
And somewhere in the city, I'm sure, and wouldn't that be great? Because that would be a payback too, you know, because a year ago in the regular season, we beat them handily, and then in the playoffs, they went out and won the state championship. And so I would be glad to be hosting an all East Side 6A2. I think that would be great because I think it's going to be an all East Side 6A1 as well.
That would be. That's right, 6A1 and 6A2, those 4 teams in the finals, all from Tulsa.
Could be, yeah, they could be. You know, with their Midwest City and Lawton might have something to say that in 6A2.
Yeah.
And we'll find out. You know, we'll find out on Saturday. But I think it's exciting for our kids and exciting for Tulsa to be able to have that all those 6A teams still involved in the playoffs.
Well, Gil, let's take a look at winter athletics, winter sports in the Tulsa Public Schools, and what do you see coming up?
Well, you know, of course, we have basketball, wrestling, and swimming at 2 schools. And we're excited about getting into basketball season. You know, our basketball teams traditionally do very well, and we can't wait to get that kicked off. The varsity programs start on November the 20th. That's the first time they can play. Earlier this week, our junior highs have already started their season, starting on Monday night and Tuesday, and with all the junior high middle school teams we have, we do play 2 or 3 nights a week to get them all in because we have limited facilities. In our junior highs, a lot of our junior highs have to use the high school that is their feeder school, use their high school gymnasium. And of course, then with that and the high school having their varsity and their JV and their freshman and sophomore teams, boys and girls teams, it becomes a real scheduling nightmare, but our directors do a good job with that, and we're excited about the basketball season. I think it's going to be one of those things that we get into, and you know, you get into the Tournament of Champions. Oh my goodness, the teams that we have in there. We're reinstituting the BOK Showcase this year. That'll be on February the 10th. And we have 3 or 4 of our Tulsa teams in that showcase. So the basketball season really looks promising. Wrestling, I think our wrestling coaches, I know we had Rob Biggins on today earlier. He's excited about his program. Edison's program has really stepped up a notch over the last couple of years. McLain's program is good. Our East Side group with Coach Roberts and Lee Lamho running the elementary program out there, they're really in good shape. And we're just excited overall about where we're headed as we go into the winter.
We have a little over a minute, but when we take a look at what's happened in girls basketball and in swimming, we're going to be well represented again.
I think we will. I think Booker T's swim team obviously is very good, and we've kept another team at Memorial, boys and girls swimming. And so those teams should be pretty strong because they're drawing from all over the city, for those swim teams. And that in the wrestling, and of course then the girls basketball, the tournament of champions again is going to be fantastic. We have 2 or 3 teams in that, and the BOK Showcase. So I think overall it's going to be a great winter. We encourage all of our patrons and fans to come out and enjoy these new facilities that you help us build.
And that's something that I don't think we can stress enough, Gil, is the fact that it seems like that unless you are just the very best in the state, that the attendance is not as good as it should be. And it should be good to really show your appreciation to the kids.
Support our kids. They need that. They feed off of that. Anything we can do positive to keep them engaged in interscholastic athletics, I think is critical. And it's not like it's $1 million deal every night. It's can we save a kid's life every night?
I couldn't agree more. Well, we're out of time and look forward to 2 weeks. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Stay with us on Inside Tulsa Athletics. More coming up right after this.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Thanks for being with us today on Inside Tulsa Athletics. Hope you enjoyed the show and hope you enjoyed the coaches as they brought you what they're doing with the young athletes in the Tulsa Public Schools. And as always, we want to encourage you to get out and support the athletic programs of the Tulsa Public Schools. And we'll see you again right here in 2 weeks.